welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today I'm going to start a series on this rifle. We're going to do some modifications to this thing, so before we get started, I'll just tell you what we got going on. Let me put this back in and I'll show you. Alright, for starters, what we have is a Venturi Avenger 25 caliber, and it's side lever. Got the side lever. I like where the safety's at. I like it better than the one on the gauntlet. The gauntlet's a turn one down here. But anyway, you have your regulator gauge on the right, and you have your field pressure on the left. And I've already mounted a scope and have already sighted it in, and we're doing some modifications to it. And for starters, it's getting a new stock. This is a cheesy stock. I know they were going for lightness, but this stock is just, it's just noisy. And I don't think it's all that pretty. It's too big and bulky, so we're going to try to change that. Now, I went and got a bipod for it, and I'm not sure I like it. It's supposed to be a quick disconnect, and it does, but I like it better when I can spring them up. This one you got to actually push a button, and you can put it anywhere you want it, and it'll stay, but I don't know, maybe I'll get used to it. You know, I can set it like that, or however I want, because it can go in all different positions. But anyway, this is all going to change anyway. Now what I've done so far is, right here on the tube, I have drilled 2 holes. One coming out this way, and one on this side coming out here. So what we have, and let me bring you down here to the table here. We're in my kitchen right now, and we'll show you what we got going on here. But I'm gonna put a little bit more light on the subject, so hold on. Alright, so we're going to do some changing on this tube here. And this thing did not come originally with a suppressor like the gauntlet did. And I'm just taking this screw out right here that's on the left hand side, and it's only on the left hand side. And then you got to take this screw here and loosen it up, and then there's one on the opposite side that you have to loosen up, which I've already got loosened. And then you just take this and slide it back and slide it completely off. Alright, so as you can see, this one here is the one that mounts into the hole in that boss, and then this one here is a relief, air relief, just like I did on the gauntlet. Alright, so they had this stripper right here, but they had it mounted here. Well, the barrel went on up, and then there was nothing there, and there's nothing there all the way up. So this part here is empty right here. there's nothing in there, and the only thing they have in it is this cap that goes in there. So I thought, well, why don't I just make another stripper for it? So I'll show you what I come up with. Right now I'm 3D printing a piece that looks like this right here. I printed this one out and I sanded it so that it would fit in this tube real nice. So I keep putting that back on. So this here would slide in and out of there. Now it fits too loose, and the reason it fits too loose is because I went and heated it to try to smooth it out and make it look a little shinier, but I messed it up. So also I had it too short. So if this works and it does silence it, I'll probably 3D print these and sell them. But anyway, it's a suppressor, and it's got a bunch of cones that it 3D printed in there. So then I decided to move this up here, and basically what that's going to do is it's going to butt up against this right here, just like that. But the one that I'm printing now is longer than that, so that it comes out and all I have to do is put an O-ring in it. I was going to use this, slide it in, and then use this spring, which slides right in there. But this is too light of a spring. So I decided to just make this longer, and whatever the difference is, if it still moves back and forth, because I might have done it too short, we want it to butt up against this and this. So I made it longer so that I can take an O-ring and put in afterwards that would go right here to make that squeeze up against it and keep it in place. So that's what our plan is. But in the future, I plan to do some more changes. And I'll show you as soon as I get this back on. Alright, so we've got this back on now, and with the cap in place, these are square with each other. But I don't like the way it looks like a double barrel shotgun, over under. I don't like that. It looks like a shotgun to me. So we're going to extend that out, which means that I have to remake this cap. And let's just imagine this cap, and this part right here, this thickness will be that thick, and just have about an 8mm hole to go through it. But I want to do a bunch of testing with it first to make sure that it's not going to throw my accuracy off, because this thing is actually freaking awesomely accurate. So we're 3D printing that piece right now, and a little bit of that oil come down on there. And let me go get the picture of the stock that I'm going to make. So right here is what I'm going to make. Now let me tell you a little history on this gun. As everybody knows already, most of my subscribers, know that I'm a gamer. I play Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts and Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 and stuff like that. And both of those games have really decent looking gun stocks. And that's what one of them looks like. Now don't pay attention to that scope. That's ugly. But we're going to try to make it as close to that as possible. Now we're not going to be able to get it exact simply because of where screw holes, where it holds the stock to the workings. I have to decide what I'm going to alleviate and what I'm going to keep. So we're going to change the design of the pistol grip, and you'll get to see that in a later date. I haven't nailed down which one I'm going to use yet, but it's not going to be exactly like that. It's going to be pretty spectacular. We're going to try to make all this here work right. I've got a new butt pad. I'll have to make this up here. Excuse me. And then I got to make them so that they're adjustable in and out. So we want to do that with a thumb wheel. So we're going to have to make 2 thumb wheels. This is all going to be made out of wood. The plates on the side here, all these plates, are going to be your grip, but they're going to be made out of wood also. But they're going to be painted black, flat black. And this part here and everything that these here mount to, and these will be mounted on with screws, and all this other stuff's going to be nice and pretty wood. All this back here is going to be a solid piece of wood, and we're going to just route out a little pocket to make that shape, and then they will be painted black inside the holes, each one of these. That way we keep our solid wood. Now this here originally on the game, this is aluminum. It's all aluminum. Well, these holes are completely through. You can't do that with wood, because if you took and cut all this out, you wouldn't have a whole lot there to protect it from breaking, and it would break easy. So we're just going to mimic the look by just routing out a valley in here and painting it black. And I think it's going to make a nice gun. It'd be nice if I had a clip, you know, just an old clip or something, and make it work so that it goes up in there and snaps into place. That would be cool. But you could use it for storage, like for 2 pellet magazines or something like that, or an extra pellet magazine. Who knows how this is going to work. We're going to have a Picatinny rail here, and in the game it shows this right here, and I would assume that it's a Picatinny rail, but we're probably not going to do this. I'm not sure what the purpose of that overhang is like that, but we're not going to use that. We're going to just put a sling stud there, and we'll decide how we're going to do our trigger. I'll have to make that too, the trigger guard. And this thing is 2-stage adjustable trigger also. It holds 3 bar, which is like 4,250, and it's regulated at 2,200. So 2,200 is going out the barrel, and from all the reviews that I've seen, that is where the sweet spot is, because anything more than that, it stumbles all over itself. So we're just going to leave it at 2,200 or 22 RPMs, 2,200 psi for the regulated pressure. So far, now I did have one problem with the clips, and I'll show you what I mean. When I went to go put the clips in, I had to really force them into place by sliding them in. I can't do it now because it's loaded right now. And if I pull that back to pull the clip out, then I won't be able to put the clip back in it. I'll have to shoot it before I can put my clip back in it. So I don't want to disturb that. They squeezed it so tight that when it squeezed it, you could shoot the first pellet, but it had the wheel pinned and wouldn't let it rotate to the next pellet. So I ended up having to take it over and take a piece of sandpaper and lay it on the bench or the counter, and then I just rubbed it on it, tested it, still tight, rubbed it a little more, and just kept doing that until it fit nice and crisp, where it just slid in and you felt the snap, and that was it. So I had to do that with the brand new clips. I didn't want to have to do that. But that's the only problem. Now this lever was a little stiff, but it worked itself out, and it's got a nice, loading. It just works really great. I've always wanted a lever gun, and now I have it. I thought about turning it into a 30 caliber because I do have a 30 caliber barrel off of a firearm, and I could turn it down to fit this gun, but it would have to be a single shot with a single shot tray. Because they don't have clips that takes 30 caliber pellets. Not for this gun anyway. So I have to stick with the 25. I had a 25 and I thought, well, if I get this 25, I could turn it into a 30 caliber, but then you got to change the hole in the breech. You got to change the holes in these. I don't know if you can actually get a 30 caliber pellet to fit in one of these by drilling them out a little bigger. It's just not, it's not worth the effort to go through all that just to find out it don't work, and then you've destroyed your stuff. So it's not a good idea to do that. But we are going to try to do a stock on this thing, and I like it. This thing shoots really well. I've got some pellets that's coming. They were actually thrown in by the guy that I bought this from. I got this from a guy on eBay, and I'll put a link to this gun in the description. So if you guys are interested in this Avenger 25 caliber, they sell them in 177, 22, and 25. So I think it's going to make a nice gun. And that thing's accurate as hell. Put it this way. I shot 5 times at the same dot on a piece of paper or cardboard I put out there. I had one flyer that flew off about 1/4 of an inch. But the other 4 were hitting the same hole. It would be half on the edge of the first hole. So that it was hitting in the same spot. So that's pretty accurate. Even the flyer would have killed a rabbit. So, or a squirrel. So this thing getting ready to prove itself to me as a hunter. Because this is not going to be a planker. This is going to be a hunter. And let's hope I can do this. So this is going to be the real Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts tactical 700, I believe is the name of it. It's got another name in it somewhere, something 700 or something like that, but I'll probably put it right here. So let's see how this works out. Keep in touch. Keep tuned in. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. Make sure you hit the like button. You guys have a good one. Later.